Hello everyone, hope every one of you is doing really great in your life, and today this is Vishwajit, your zoology mentor at PW NEET English channel. Another session of our endgame series when uh, we are going to complete the total unit of human physiology, 6 chapters at a glance with top 50 most important questions. Yes, so the unit gonna be completed for today, that is human physiology, and there are 6 chapters. Okay, so very good evening. Within 1 or 2 minutes we'll be starting with the questions and their polls. Okay. So tell me how you are prepared for upcoming NEET examination. So only few days are left, and human physiology, which is the most important unit of zoology in biology, because when you will become a doctor after getting inside that medical college, the first year, very first year, you have to study the books of human physiology, the important topics of human physiology. Yes, Teja, very good evening. Ananya, very good evening. So let's get started with our question, and starting with assertion and reason type of question. Check this carefully. Hello Afifa, very good evening. So the assertion is saying internal respiration involves gas exchange between the blood and the body cells. And the reason is telling us cellular respiration involves the conversion of food to energy. Now you have to choose between option A, B, C and D. Here I am sharing the poll. You just have to write your answer as A, B, C or D into the chat box, and this poll gonna fetch your answer from the chat box directly. So be quick while you are answering the very first question for today's session. Assertion and reason from the chapter Breathing and Exchange of Gases. Yes, Ravi Chandra, very good evening. Okay. Ananya is saying option A. Sujata is saying option A. Great. So let's check. So internal respiration involves gaseous exchange between blood and body cells. That is absolutely true. And the cellular respiration means involves of conversion of gases, conversion of food into energy. That's also true. But when you look up to this reason, when you check the reason, is it describing how internal respiration is happening inside our body? No. So that's why you can say that assertion and reason are true, but reason is not the correct explanation for the assertion. Yes. So option B will be perfect answer for this particular question. Yes, Chitra, Noel, again, thank you very much for attending the session. Yes, very good evening, Surya. Okay, Afifa is saying B. Vasavraju is also saying B. Yes, that's right answer for this particular question. So, if you are getting it, again I am explaining. Internal respiration, assertion is telling about internal respiration, reason is telling about cellular respiration. Though they are interconnected, but the reason is not explaining us why and how internal respiration is taking place. That's why we have to choose option B. Moving forward to another question from breathing and exchange of gases. And the question 2 is asking, find the pair in which given animals is incorrectly matched with their respiration. Okay. So it should be correctly matched. The question is, find the pair in which the given animal is correctly matched with their respiration. Here I am sharing the poll. you have to write down the option A, B, C, D into the chat box, and I'll be taking the answer. Okay, so they're saying that fishes, the mode of respiration is bronchial respiration, insects, tracheal respiration, earthworm, pulmonary respiration, mollusk, cutaneous respiration. You have to find out the correctly matched pair. Okay, Maxwell, Ananya, Vasavraju, Chitra. Okay, I'm getting multiple answer. So let me check one by one. If we talk about mollusk, they respire through their feather-like gills. They do not respire with the help of their body surface. So this is not a correct match. If we talk about earthworm, they have moist body surface, and respiration through moist body surface or moist skin is called cutaneous respiration, not pulmonary respiration. Yes, insects, they have tracheal tubes, and that mode of respiration is called tracheal respiration. Fishes, they perform respiration with the help of their gills, and that is called as branchial respiration, not bronchial respiration. So that's why option B will be the correct answer, and 71% of you have given right answer, and they are Chitra, Rijeti, Sujata, Santosh, and Ananya and Surya. Great. Moving forward to the question number 3, another assertion and reason, and you can read it. That assertion is telling us about insects have tracheal system for respiration, and reason is telling us insects have a network of tubes which helps them to transport atmospheric air directly within the body. So again, poll is here. Be quick while you are answering this particular question. Surya is saying option A. No, Chitra, for the previous question, mollusks, they do not respire through radula, they respire through feather-like gills. That is called ctenidia. Okay, so I'm getting answers for most of you, and you are telling that option A. Yes, obviously, both assertion and reason are true, and reason is correct explanation. That was a quite easier one. And here is the poll. 100% of you have given right answer. Quickly jump to the, I'll be jumping to the next question, question number 4. When there is no air in the initial bronchioles, they do not collapse. It is due to presence of lecithin, presence of pulmonary surfactant, presence of incomplete cartilaginous ring, or presence of mucus. Sharing the poll. Why initial bronchioles will not be collapsing if you withdraw the air from it? So is it present of lecithin which are secreted by pneumocyte type 2 of alveolar cells, or is it presence of pulmonary surfactant, or is it presence of incomplete cartilaginous rings, or is it presence of mucus simply? Basabaraju, Maxwell, Rijeti, Surya, Afifa, Ananya, Yogi. Okay, all of you are giving answer as option C. There is presence of incomplete cartilaginous ring which is present from the trachea to initial bronchioles but absent in terminal bronchioles. So option C will be the right answer, and 100% of you are correct regarding this answer. Now moving forward to question number 5. How many of the following structures are common in the left and right lungs of human? Okay, so if you know about the anatomy of left and right lung, you have to find out the common structure in between them. So horizontal fissure, oblique fissure, cardiac notch, and presence of lobes. How many are common in between the left and right lung of human being? Yes, Vasavraju. Radula is the file-like raspic organ for feeding. It's a kind of tongue. Great. Pulmonary surfactant means if you check inside the alveoli, then inside the alveoli you will be finding two kinds of cell, pneumocyte 1 and pneumocyte 2, right? Pneumocyte 1 is mainly responsible for forming the diffusion surface. Pneumocyte 2, they are responsible for secretion of lecithin. They kind of slippery substance. They will maintain the surface tension of the inner wall of alveoli. So that is called the surfactant, maintaining the surface tension. So for this particular question, I am getting option D. Okay. Shujata is saying as option A. So let me check. Horizontal fissure. If you check your right lung is having two fissure, horizontal fissure and oblique fissure. But if you check your left lung, due to the occupancy of the heart, this is having only the oblique fissure. So oblique fissure is common in both of them. Horizontal fissure is present into our left lung because it's bilobed and our right lung is trilobed. Another thing, presence of lobes. They are not asking about trilobe or two lobes or three lobes. They are asking about presence of lobes are present or not. For both of the lungs, lobes are present. So two statements are correct for this particular question, and option B is the right one. Cardiac notch present only in the left lung, horizontal fissure present only in the right lung, and rest of the 2 points, that is oblique fissure and presence of lobes, are true for both of the lungs. So option B. Let me check how many of given right answer. Only few of you could means have given the right answer, and it is Yogi Jugan. Very good. Yogi Jugan, it's great answer. Moving forward to the next question. Yes, Maxwell is saying, sir, I am the last year of NEET Yakin English. I really missed all the teachers. Okay, it's a natural thing for us. We all miss our teachers because it's the teachers who are continuously giving us knowledge and enlightening the path of our life, right? So yes, moving forward to the next question. Question number 6. Trachea is a straight tube extending up to the mid-thoracic cavity, which divides at the level of. Now you need to remember what is the exact location where the trachea will be divided into two branch. I am sharing the pole here. And here the pole pole is displayed. You have to give your answer into the chat box, and accordingly we will calculate how many of you have given right answer for this. Yes, Surya is saying option C. Okay, obviously they divide near to the 5th thoracic vertebrae. Now into right and left primary bronchiole, or near to the 5th thoracic vertebrae into right and left primary bronchi. That you have to decide, and that will decide your answer. Dr. Kanishka, Ananya, Maxwell, Vashavraju. Okay, Vashavraju is saying option D, and rest everyone is saying option C. I think you have missed this point. Though 5th thoracic vertebrae is present for both the answer, for case of both the answer, option C and option D, but if you look in a proper frantic manner, the option C is telling into right and left pulmonary bronchiole. That's a wrong statement. It's divided into right and left primary bronchi. So option D is our answer. Option D. Let me check how many of you have given right answer. Only 25% of you have given right answer, and it's Vasabraju and Yogi Jugan. Great. Okay, so it happens. This is called a silly mistake. Often every one of us, we overlook the statement, right? Because correct answers are imprinted into our vision. So sometime whenever we are reading these statements, our brain will be overlooking the perfect wordings. So we have to be more conscious or careful while we are solving the paper. Yes. Moving forward to the next question, question number 7, and the assertion is telling us larynx is also known as the sound box, and the reason is saying why it's known as sound box, It's a bony box which helps in the sound production. Is it so? So to get the answer, we'll be sharing the poll, and let us see how many of you can give the right answer for this particular question. Yes, it's about larynx, our voice box or sound box. Already I'm getting answer from Ananya, Vasab Raju, Chitra, Noel. So all are answering as option C. Tear on page. Love you, Sarji. We miss you, Sarji. From okay. Yes, the things are same from here as well. Tear on page. Okay. Miss you even now as well. But don't worry, you all are working for the same purpose, same aim. Okay, so the answer will be larynx is also known as the sound box. That is true, and the reason is it's bony box which helps us. So bony box, that is a wrong statement. It should be cartilaginous box, right? So answer will be, assertion is true, but reason is false. Option C. 87% of you have given right answer, and they are Vasabraju, Chitra, Surya, Sujata, and Jogita. Great. So tear on page, how how is your preparation going on? Your NEET is quite ahead, and what about the subjects zoology, botany, physics and chemistry? What you are expecting in upcoming NEET examination? Yes, Chitra, it should be cartilaginous. Moving forward to the next question, question number 8. Select the sequence of steps in respiration. Now it's a quite easier one. I'm sharing the poll. I think it's directly from NCERT book, and most of you are knowing the answer. Okay. So first, it should be diffusion of gases across the alveolar membrane, or diffusion of oxygen and carbon dioxide between blood and tissue, or transport of gas by the blood, pulmonary ventilation by which atmospheric air is drawn in and CO2 is alveolar air and released out. Okay, utilization of oxygen by the cells. Okay, so lines as it is from NCERT, and already tear on page. Okay, thank you very much. Vasab Raju, Chitra, Surya, Maxwell. Okay, Maxwell saying his organic chemistry is very strong. That's great, man. For me, chemistry is always a hard subject. Okay, during my preparation, biology and physics, I used to love those subjects. Okay, chemistry used to be a trouble for me. So yes, option A is the right one. First, it should be D, that is pulmonary ventilation. Then it should be A, diffusion of gases in between alveolar membrane and blood. Then it should be C, transportation of gases. Then it should be B, diffusion again in between blood and tissue, and lastly utilization of oxygen for intracellular respiration. So I think all of you are correct. Yes, 100% of you have given right answer. Moving forward to the question number 9. Okay, which is the site for actual diffusion of oxygen and carbon dioxide between blood and atmospheric air? Another easy question. Try to give the answer. Exchange part of respiratory system, conducting part of respiratory system, respiratory part of respiratory system, or both A and C. Be quick while you are giving the answer. Preparation of medical or NEET is all about the speed and accuracy. Surya is saying, okay, once he answered A and twice he is answering as option D. So I'm getting mixed kind of answer. If you are saying option A, if you are saying option D, Sharleen is saying option D, Chitra is saying option D, Ananya is saying option A, Jogita, Rishikesh, easy question. Yes, obviously it's a kind of easy question. Site of actual, I said, it should be Conducting part of respiratory system, that's also correct. And the synonymous terminology, respiratory part of respiratory system, they both are synonymous, conducting part and respiratory part. That includes that respiratory bronchioles, alveolar sac and alveoli. So option D, sorry. So okay. So there is a mistake in this question. That should be option B and option C. Yeah, now D will be the right answer. Okay, so if you are getting this such kind of question, if you are getting such kind of question into NEET examination, so according to the rule, if you are marking any one of them, if you have marked option B, or if you have marked option C, or if you have marked as option D, you will be awarded 4 marks. Okay, so if you are feeling that question is disputed, you have to mark the right answer, right? So if you are marking the right answer, then only NTA will be awarding you. If you skip that question, okay, this is a very important point I am discussing now. If you are skipping a disputed question, NTA will not award you or not give you 4 marks. Remember. ओके टीयर ओपन पेज से तैयारी अच्छी चल रही है सर और क्या बोला समझ नहीं आया क्या बस स्टिल मिस यू ओके कोई बात नहीं बस तैयारी अच्छी करो खाना बना रहे ओके कीप ऑन कुकिंग या it should not be conducting sorry it should not be option B. Yes this time I overlooked the question. It should be option A, exchange part, and the option C, respiratory part. Yes, so option D will be right answer. Option D will be the right answer, option C. Now no for previous question it was my mistake. I was not reading the written lines properly. Now another assertion and reason, and the assertion is telling us the diaphragm plays a crucial role in the process of inhalation, and the reason is saying when the diaphragm contract, it flattens from the dome shaped, it will get flattened and it will be increasing the thoracic cavity volume into dorsoventral axis and leading to decrease in the air pressure. So here is the poll for you people. You are free to write your answer just into this chat box. Yeah, diffusion takes place in the exchange part as well as respiratory part. Yes, Surya, thank you for reminding me the correct lines. I was overlooking. So for this question, I am getting for most of you, Chitra, Surya, Ananya is saying option B, Vasavraju is saying option B. Okay, I'm getting mixed answer. Few are saying option B and few are saying option A. See, so diaphragm plays a crucial role. That's a true statement. But for reason, this will be false. Why false? Again, few of you have done a silly mistake. When diaphragm will get flattened, it will increase the thoracic cavity volume, but not into the dorsoventral axis. Flattened diaphragm will increase the volume of thoracic cavity into the posterior anterior axis. So that's why option this is the reason will be the false reason will be the false for this particular question. So assertion is true and reason is false. So option C is the correct answer. Option C is the correct answer. Yes, and none of you have marked it right. None of you have marked it right. Oh. Yeah, volume will be increased, pressure will be decreased. That correct. Everything is correct. But the diaphragm, when it gets flattened, it will not increase the volume into dorsoventral axis. Na? So if you check the diagram, so this is our thoracic cavity. This is the normal position of diaphragm. Now while you are inhaling, the diaphragm will get flattened and you will observe the volume has increased into this anterior posterior axis. This is called dorsoventral axis. The flattening of diaphragm is related to increase in volume into anterior posterior axis, not with dorsoventral axis. That's why reason will be the false answer. Yes, the kind of silly mistake. Okay, from it can happen, this kind of question you may get. Everything is written perfectly, but one word, one key word, one very crucial word is written wrong. Now, moving forward to the next question, again question number 11, and the question is asking which of the following best describe the functional residual capacity? Another easier one, functional residual capacity. I've shared the poll already. You can write down your answer into the chat box. Ananya is saying a glass piece pricked my leg. Oh my God, take it out and go to the washroom and clear that area first. Then again come and continue. But before, clear that area with some surfactant, with some antibacterial medicine. You know that health is wealth. So first you have to take care about your own body organs. Are they functioning properly or not? First you have to take care of yourself, then about your academic preparation. Okay, so for this question, what is functional residual capacity? So I'm getting mass answer as option B. So the volume of air that remains in the lung after normal expiration. Yes, option B will be the right answer. Let me check how many of you have given right answer. 80% of you have given right answer. Charlene, Ananya, Dr. Kanishka, and Jogita. Okay. Why A? The total volume of air a person can inhale after a normal expiration. That is not functional residual capacity. A person can inhale after a normal expiration, the total volume of air, that is called as you know about the 4 lung volumes, right? You know about 4 lung volume. TV is tidal volume, the normal air we are breathing in and breathing out. Then inspiratory reserve volume, then expiratory reserve volume and residual volume. So first option A, that will be expiratory reserve volume. Option C, the maximum volume of air a person can exhale after a forced inspiration. Total volume of air person can inhale, that is inspiratory reserve volume. Option C, expiratory reserve volume. The maximum volume of air a person can breathe in after a force expiration, this is tidal volume. Question number 12. Inspiratory capacity is tidal volume plus the extra amount of air you can forcefully inhale. Okay, for that question, B will be the correct answer. Question number 12. Which of the following volume is not included in vital capacity, or you can get the same question in a twisted manner. Which of the following volume cannot be measured by spirometer? Okay, Yogi says saying C, Jogita is saying C, Rushikesh is saying D. Okay, it should be residual volume. Residual volume cannot be included within the vital capacity. Vital capacity means tidal volume plus inspiratory reserve volume plus expiratory reserve volume. So option D is the correct one, and 85% of you have given right answer. Moving forward to question number 13, direction of concentration gradient from oxygen. For oxygen is from. So you have to check oxygen is going from high concentration to low concentration, that is called concentration gradient. and you have to find out the correct answer. 4 options are there. Tissue to blood, blood to alveoli, blood to tissue, tissue to alveoli, alveoli to blood, blood to tissue, tissue to alveoli, and alveoli to tissue. Okay, so I'm getting answer as option C. If you are saying option D, Shantosh is saying option D, Sujata is saying option B, Charlene has given answer C, Maxwell is saying option D, Alilesh Chandel has given option A. Okay, yes, Maxwell. Great, great. Keep your focus towards NEET examination. We have to be focused and honest while you are preparing for any competitive examination. So answer should be the concentration gradient of oxygen should be alveoli to blood and blood to tissue. See, higher partial pressure of oxygen you will be finding inside the alveoli in compared to blood, right? But when you are comparing the partial pressure of oxygen into blood and tissue, the higher will be in blood and lower will be into the tissue. So option C is the right answer for this particular question, and 33% of you have given right answer, and they are Charlene and Yogi Jogan. Yes, so that was asked into the question. The direction of concentration gradient, you know that a gas will always move from high partial pressure to low partial pressure. So that's why option C will be the answer. Alveoli, what is the partial pressure of oxygen in alveoli? What is the partial pressure of oxygen in oxygenated blood? So if you think about that particular table, that particular chart, you will get the answer. Moving forward to the next question, which one of the following statements is incorrect? Now for this you have to find out the incorrect statement. A person of O blood group has anti-A and anti-B antibodies in his blood plasma. A person of B blood group cannot donate blood to a person with A. A blood group is designated on the basis of the presence of antibodies in the blood plasma. A person of AB blood group called universal recipient. So another easier one. If you know the basis of blood grouping, you can answer it very quickly. Already I think I got the answer from Rishikesh. Okay, let me check how many of you can figure it out in a correct way. Not an issue, Rishikesh. Misclick, it happens. Charlene is saying C. Ananya is saying C. You have to find out incorrect statement. And yes, blood group is designated on the basis of presence of antibodies in blood plasma. That's the wrong statement, because the naive of blood grouping, we know that the presence of antigens on the surface of red blood corpuscles. So that's why C will be the answer, and 70% of you got it right. Charlene, including Rushika, Ananya, Rishikesh, Ananya, Sujata, and tear on pages. Okay, tear on pages. You are here, great. तुम तो बोल रहे थे तुम खाना बना रहे थे. You are studying for NEET examination. You are cooking food. That's great effort. Now this question: adult human RBCs are enucleated. Which of the following statements is or are most appropriate explanation for this feature? So you have to justify this line: adult human RBCs are enucleated. Let's get the correct answer for this. A question practice session. Alilesh Chandel, this is question practice session. So language doesn't matter, and moreover this is English medium channel only. So no issue, you can give the answer. So they do not need to reproduce, that is not concerned. This line is not concerned with our statement. They are somatic cells, this is also irrelevant. They do not metabolize, this is also irrelevant while you are figuring out the reason of enucleation of RBC? Yes, option 4. Their internal space is available for oxygen transport, because the internal space is almost 36% of the volume is occupied by hemoglobin. So option A is right answer. And let me check how many of you have given right answer. 83% of you have given right answer. Power play, Sujata, Vasabraju, Ananya, Charlene. Very good. Now next question. A reduction in number of platelet can lead to blood coagulation inside vessels, clotting disorder, excessive loss of blood from the body. Both option 2 and option 3. Here you get the poll. Be fast while you are answering. Yes, you will get NEET question both in English and Hindi, but this channel is for English medium. So I cannot explain in Hindi. I think you are getting me. So a reduction of platelets are responsible for initiating the blood clotting mechanism. Blood clotting will not get initiated without the presence of platelet into the damaged area. So that's why it will cause clotting, it will cause excessive loss of blood from the body. Blood coagulation inside vessel will not be caused by it. Clotting disorders will not be caused by it. Option C will be the right answer, and let me check how many of you have given right answer. Only Sujata has given right answer. Moving forward to the next question. All vertebrates possess dash, fishes have dash chambered heart with atrium and ventricles, amphibians and reptiles have dash chambered heart, birds and mammals have dash chambered of heart. Choose the correct option. Here I am just sharing the poll. You need to answer it correctly. So all vertebrates possess a muscular chambered heart. Fishes have. Many of you are answering option B. Okay. Fish with two chambered heart, amphibians and reptiles with three chambered heart, mammals and birds with four chambered heart. Yes, option B will be the correct answer. Charlene, Ananya and Rushikesh has given right answer. Okay. Please explain the previous question. A reduction in the number of platelets can lead to excess loss of blood from the body and clotting disorder. Yes, clotting disorder that will also take place. So for this question I am extremely sorry. The correct answer will be option D. Yes, that was my mistake. Clotting disorder also included. Excessive loss of blood from the body, that is also included. Okay. For this question the answer will be option B. Now moving forward to the next question, question number 18. Statement 1 is saying heart, that endodermally derived organ, is situated into the thoracic cavity. Statement 2 is saying the walls of ventricles are much thicker than the atria. So in the light of above statements, you have to choose the right and wrong statement for this particular question. Now be quick while answering. Yes, I had ticked wrong option for that question. That was my mistake. It should be option D for it should be clotting disorder as well as excessive loss of blood. Both will be answer for that particular question. Now for this, heart is endodermally derived organ. So I'm getting answer. If people are telling that option B should be the answer, where statement 1 is incorrect but statement 2 is correct. Yes, this is false because heart is not endodermally derived, heart is mesodermally derived, and the walls of ventricles are much thicker than the atria. That is true. So statement 1 is incorrect but statement 2 is correct. Option B will be the right answer, and all of you have given right. Okay, uh, it's Rushikesh, power play versus Measures Ananya, Charlene, Vasabraju, tier on pages. Okay. Now check the next question, question number 19. Which of the following will never carry deoxygenated blood? Renal vein, hepatic vein, pulmonary artery, pulmonary vein. Another easy question. Another easy question. Already you have given the answer, Maxwell and Yogi. No. Hepatic vein will not be the answer. Which of the following will never carry deoxygenated blood? Yes, Rushikesh. Sometimes we also overlook the statements. Charlene, Vasabraju, power play, Yogi Yogan, Rushikesh, tier on page, all are giving as option. D, yes, pulmonary veins that carries oxygenated blood from lungs to left atrium. So that will never carry deoxygenated blood. And 85% of given right answer, including Charlene, power play, Yogi, Rushikesh, tier on pages, and Ananya. Great. Quickly jumping to the next question, statement based. Another statement based question. Statement 1 is saying that terrestrial adaptation necessitated the production of lesser toxic nitrogenous waste like urea and uric acid for conservation of water, and statement B is telling us ammonia is least toxic from and requires large amount of water for its elimination. Sharing the poll again, be prompt and specific and careful while you are reading the statements. Yes, Vavana. Yes, Bhavna, how are you? Welcome to the class and very good evening again. Power play is saying option C, Rushikesh given answer as option A, Shalini is saying option A, Yogi is saying option B, so I'm getting mixed answer. Power play again corrected it. He is saying option A, Rishikesh is also saying option A. So terrestrial adaptation necessitated for the production of lesser nitrogenous waste, that is true. But ammonia is not the least toxic, it's the most toxic one between all these three, ammonia, urea and uric acid. So statement 1 is correct and statement B is incorrect. So answer will be option A. Yeah, statement A, only statement A is correct. So option A will be the right answer, and 70% of you are right. It's Rishikesh, Charlene, tier on page, Vasabraju, Maxwell and Ananya. Very good. Quickly, another statement based questions we are getting, and that is statement 1 is saying neutrophils, eosinophils and basophils are types of a granulocyte, and statement 2 is saying the average count of RBCs in a healthy adult is around 5 to 5.5 million per cubic millimeter blood, making them the most abundant blood cells. Okay. Quickly choose your answer in between the options. Maxwell, which place you live, sir? Currently, I'm in Delhi. Sorry, not Delhi, Noida. It's near to Delhi only, Delhi NCR. So power play, Charlene, Sujata. Someone is saying option B, someone is saying option C. So basically, neutrophils, eosinophils and basophils, they are types of agranulocyte. That's perfectly wrong one. because they are granulocytes, so this is false. Statement 2, the average count of that is true. So statement 1 is incorrect, but statement 2 is correct. Option B. And 88% of you have given right answer, including Shalin, Sujata, Basabraju, Ananya, and Yogi. Next question. Doctors use a stethoscope to hear the sounds produced during each cardiac cycle. The second sound is heard when AV nodes receive signal from SA node, AV valves open up, ventricular walls vibrate due to the gushing in the blood from atria, semilunar valves close down after the blood flows into the vessels from ventricles. Okay, so they are asking about the second heart sound, that is dub, and I think most of you, all of you know why lub or dub sounds are produced. Tier on pages, they are asking about when you can hear the second heart sound or dub sound from your heart. You have to choose between 4 options. You know the heart sounds, first heart sound lub, second heart sound dub. So what is the reason behind them? So from all of you, I'm getting answer as option D, Maxwell, Jhansi, Sinde, Ananya, Rishikesh, Sujata, all are saying option D. Yes, dub is produced when semilunar valves close down after the blood flows into the vessels from ventricles to ensure that the blood will not show the backflow into the ventricles again. Yes, option D will be the right answer. And let me check. 87% of you have given or got it right. Okay, it's Rishikesh, Ananya, Vasabraju, Jhansi, Sinde, Shalin, Maxwell, and Sujata. Going to the next question. Okay, now check the assertion. The assertion is telling us lymph is derived from blood vascular system and again drain back to the blood. Reason is saying lymph is an important carrier for only nutrients and hormones. Here you are getting the poll. You are free to answer. Write down in the chat box. Question number 21. Okay, I'm coming after this question. TR on page. If you are saying answer as option B, if you are saying option, okay, most of you are answering as option B. So lymph is derived from blood vascular system and again drain back to the blood. That's true. Lymph is called tissue fluid because when the blood is flowing through perforated blood capillaries, some amount of blood will get filtered out into the interstitial space of tissue, and again when the lymph will expire inside your body, okay, then it will get back into the venous circulation again. So assertion is right. Lymph is derived means lymph will be formed from your blood vascular system, and again the expired lymph will be drained back into your venous circulation. Okay, so that is correct. Lymph is important carrier. Reason is false, because lymph is an important carrier for nutrients and hormones. That's great, but not this only word should. If you omit this only word, then you would have said that the reason is correct. But lymph is an important carrier for nutrients, lipids, hormone, excreta, right, gaseous, multiple things. So reason is false and assertion is true. So option A is right answer, and let me check how many of you have given it right answer, and it's only Charlene. That's very good. Okay, so option B will not be the right answer, even not option C, right? Because assertion is true, reason is false. So option A is our correct answer. Okay, Yogi is saying, please explain question number 22. Okay, I'm explaining. Doctors use a stethoscope. Okay, this is someone asked me to explain this question. So statement 1 is saying neutrophils, eosinophils and basophils are types of agranulocyte. So obviously they are WBC, right? But they are not agranulocyte, they are granulocyte, because when you will be finding these blood cells into your bloodstream, into your blood circulation, then this multi-lobed nucleus with multi-lobe. First of all, this is the identification feature of neutrophil, eosinophil and basophil, and along with them you will be finding granules of enzyme filled vesicles. So that's why they are called as granulocyte WBC. They are not a granulocyte. That's why statement 1 is false. But why statement 2 is true? Because average count of RBC in healthy adult, that is around 5 million to 5.5 million per cubic mm blood or per deciliter blood, making them the most abundant blood cells. Means if you check out the number, if you check the number of RBC, WBC and platelet, right? RBC 5 million per deciliter blood, WBC only 6 to 8,000 per deciliter blood, and if you talk about the platelets, they are 1.5 to 3 lakhs, somehow at an average 2 to 3 lakhs of platelets present into per deciliter blood. That's why the most abundant blood cells or blood corpuscles, they are RBC. Next question, while doctor is using stethoscope, when he or she will hear this second sound of heart. What is second sound of, it should be heart. What is second sound of heart? It should be dub, right? It should be dub. This is the second sound of heart. What is first sound of heart? Lub. Lub is the first sound. So first sound will be produced when there will be closure of bicuspid and tricuspid valve. But when your heart will be producing dub sound, when semilunar valves will be closed, that will cause the dub sound. These are the 4 chambers of your heart. Atrium and ventricles, they are separated by tricuspid valve and bicuspid valve. But if you check the opening point of aorta and pulmonary artery, they are guarded by 3 semilunar valves, and closure of these semilunar valves will cause dub sound. Okay, now moving forward to question number 24. No issue. Hulk is saying, please explain question number 23. Yes, I am explaining. Lymph is derived from blood vascular system and again drain back to the blood. Why it's true? See, what happens when will be finding that few blood vessels, so suppose this is a blood vessel, few blood vessels of our body, they are fenestrated or perforated, they have minute pores into them. So with the help of this minute fenestra, when the blood is flowing inside those capillaries, within this minute fenestra, some blood will get filtered out along with some components of plasma and some lymphocytes, and that will form a colorless liquid inside the tissue space, which we call interstitial space. So that's why we can say lymph is derived, lymph is generated from the blood vascular system only. But like our blood, lymph is also having expiry period. Within few hours, the lymph will get expired and it will get back to the blood circulation. It will get back to the venous circulation. It will get back to the venous circulation to get replaced with new lymph. So that's why the the assertion was telling lymph is derived from blood vascular system, means lymph is originated from blood vascular system and again will drain back to the blood. That's why our answer should be true assertion. But reason why it's false, because lymph is important carrier for nutrients and hormones, that's right, but not only carrier for nutrients and hormones. Lymph can carry lipids, lymph can carry some gases like carbon dioxide, oxygen as well. Lymph can carry some certain nutrients. Lymph can carry excretory products as well. So that's why reason is false. Now moving forward to question number 24, and the assertion is here. Already I answered question number 22nd. Yes. Assertion A is now question number 24. Assertion is saying that the parasympathetic nervous system decreases the cardiac output. Reason is saying the parasympathetic nervous system decreases the strength of ventricular contraction. I've shared the poll already. Now you need to answer in a proper way. Charlene is answering option C. Here on pages is saying answer should be option A. Okay. So the parasympathetic nervous system decreases the cardiac output. That's a true fact. That's a true fact. But reason the parasympathetic nervous system decreases the strength of ventricular contraction, that's not true. Why? Parasympathetic nervous system will give a inhibitory signal to your SA node and AV node. So your heart rate can be decreased. Your heart rate will decrease and that will cause deterioration in cardiac output, but there will be no change in the strength of ventricular contraction. So that's why reason is false. So here answer will be assertion is true but reason is false. So option A is our right answer, and only 16% of you have given right answer, and that is tier on pages. That's very good. Yes, option C. No. Most of you are answering as option C. That's perfectly wrong answer. Why? Because parasympathetic nervous system will not decrease the strength of ventricular contraction. Where I am focusing, the strength of ventricular contraction. Parasympathetic nervous system cannot decrease the strength of ventricular contraction. It can decrease the heart rate. Heart rate will be decreased, so cardiac output will be also decreased. It will not decrease the stroke volume. What is cardiac output? Stroke volume multiplied with cardiac multiplied with heart rate, right? So it cannot decrease stroke volume, but it can decrease heart rate. You need to remember this. Okay. If you have any confusion for this particular question, you can ask me again. I will try to simplify it. Have you got my point or not? Parasympathetic nervous system, how it can decrease cardiac output? By decreasing heart rate. It cannot decrease stroke volume. You need to remember this. and the strength of ventricular contraction is related to stroke volume only. Next, renal papilla is a part of minor calyx, pelvis, renal pyramid or major calyx. I am sharing the poll here. Okay, I'll explain it again, Mr. Hulk and someone else. Okay, Yogi, I think. So again, Mr. Hulk, I will explain the previous question again. First, answer this question. Renal papilla is a part of minor calyx, pelvis, pyramid or major calyx. You need to read like A, B, C and D. So Hulk Bhaiya is saying option B, Rishikesh is saying option C. Renal papilla is not a part of renal pelvis or minor calyx or major calyx. It's a part of renal pyramid. It's a part of renal pyramid and 50% of you have given right answer. Okay, only Rishikesh got it right. Again, I'm explaining this particular question. Question number 24. See, the parasympathetic nervous system decreases the cardiac output. What do you mean by cardiac output? What do you mean by cardiac output? Cardiac output means heart rate multiplied by stroke volume. So what is normal heart rate in our body? Suppose it's 70 and suppose the normal stroke volume is also 70 ml per minute. Right, 70 to 72 or average 70 to 75, you can write it 72. So the resultant answer will be calculated as cardiac output. See, now the function of parasympathetic nervous system, how it works. It will give negative feedback to your SAN, SA node and AV node. So when SAN and AVN are negatively regulated, it will decrease your heart rate. It will decrease your heart rate, but it cannot decrease your stroke volume. Parasympathetic nervous system cannot decrease your stroke volume. This stroke volume is related to the strength of ventricular contraction, right? So if stroke volume is decreased, that means you are facing problem in your heart. There is a diseased condition, there is a disorder, right? You need to remember this. In normal condition, when sympathetic nervous system is dominant, it will increase the heart rate, so cardiac output will increase. When parasympathetic nervous system is dominant, it will decrease the heart rate and as usual the cardiac output will also decrease. So that is the relationship of sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system with cardiac output. They cannot alter the stroke volume, which is maintained by the strength of ventricular contraction. Okay, now I think Mr. Hulk got it perfectly. Moving forward to the next question. Okay, it's also done. Another question is there from excretion, elimination of excretory products, and assertion is telling us nephrons are of two types, cortical and juxtamedullary, based on their relative position in a cortex and medulla. Reason is saying us juxtamedullary nephrons have short loop of Henle, whereas cortical nephrons have a longer loop of Henle. Here you get you are getting the poll. Now I am expecting the answer. Be quick while you are answering. Rishikesh is saying got it again. I'll say no, yes, understand. ठीक है. Now try to answer this particular question. Nephrons are of two types. Shalin, Santosh, Sujata has given their answer. Yogi, very good. So nephrons are of two types depending upon their relative position. That's true. But reason is false. Why? Because juxtamedullary nephrons, they are very much crucial to maintain the hypertonicity of the renal medullary region. That's why they have long loop of Henle, and these cortical nephrons, they have short loop of Henle. So these statements, these words are wrong for this relative nephrons. So that's why this release, we have to say that answer will be reason false, assertion true. Option C. Yes, option 3 means option C. And let me check how many of you have given right answer. All of you have given right answer. Very good. Moving forward to the next question. We have to select the correct order of osmolarity change in filtrate with reference to plasma. Okay. So this is the question. You have to select, you have to choose the correct order of osmolarity change into into the different parts of a nephron, inside Bowman's capsule, inside PCT, inside descending loop, inside ascending loop, inside DCT, inside collecting duct, in terms of isotonicity, hypertonicity and hypotonicity. Now what do you mean by isotonic? Isotonic means if it is equal to 300 milli, if the tonicity is equal to 300 milliosmol per liter. If it's more than this, then it will be hypertonic. If it's less than this, then it will be hypotonic. Charlene, you are giving the answer and I got it, that is option B. Ananya is saying option B. Rushikesh, option B. Ananya, okay. So for Bowman's capsule, it's isotonic. For PCT, it's isotonic. The concentration of filtrate is 300 milliosmol per liter volume, right? For descending loop of Henle, it should be hypertonic. For ascending loop of Henle, for descending loop of Henle, it's going to be hypertonic. For ascending, it's hypotonic. For DCT, it's again hypotonic. And for end of collecting duct, it will become hypertonic. So option 2 or option B will be the right answer. And let me check how many of you are correct. All of, okay, only one has given right answer, that is Charlene Divanathan. Very good. And apart from them, Rishikesh also given right answer. Ananya has also given right answer. Santosh, it's right. Yogi, it's also right. Okay. So here I am explaining. Inside Bowman's capsule and proximal convoluted tubule, you will be finding the concentration of a liquid or filtrate, that is 300 milliosmol. As soon as it's entering into the descending loop of Henle, gradually it will start losing water and it will become hypertonic. When after the U-turn, it will enter into the ascending loop of Henle, it will start releasing salt and it will become hypotonic. It's entering into the DCT into hypotonic mode, and again while it's passing this length of collecting duct, it will start losing water under the influence of antidiuretic hormone. Again it will gain the hypertonicity. So that's why option B is the right answer. Next question. If Henle's loop is removed or were absent from mammalian nephron, which of the following is to be expected? there will be no urine formation, there will be hardly any change in the quality and quantity of urine formed. The urine will be more concentrated, the urine will be more diluted. Which is the answer? For the previous question you were asking, Yogi, or this question? We know this is the structure of our nephron. Bowman's capsule, PCT, Henle's loop and DCT. The question is asking, suppose if you remove the Henle's loop or your nephrons are like this, then what will happen? We know that Henle's loop are very much crucial for the counter current mechanism, right? And why counter current is necessary for us? Without counter current, your kidney will fail to maintain the corticomedullary osmotic gradient, and it will start eliminating out diluted urine. It will start eliminating out diluted urine. Again, I am explaining this. It's the Henle's loop. For this, option D is the right answer, and 100% of you have given right or answered it properly. So it's the Henle's loop which is maintaining the concentration gradient. Like we know, towards the cortex the concentration is 300, towards the medulla the concentration is 1200, and gradually it's increasing. So this is called corticomedullary concentration gradient of healthy kidney, and that is prepared by this Henle's loop, by this counter current mechanism of Henle's loop, and maintained by the vasa recta. Now, if Henle's loop are absent, then this concentration gradient will not be formed inside our kidneys, and if this gradient is absent inside our kidney, then what will happen? The urine which is released, that will become hypotonic in nature. That means diluted in nature, that will be, and too much loss of water will be there. Yes, so for Yogi I am going with the previous question. Okay, so correct order of osmolarity change. For that, again we need to learn about the structure of a nephron. So this is PCT, this is descending loop of Henle, this is ascending loop of Henle, this is DCT, and this is collecting duct. So this is structure of our nephron, right? Now you have to find out the osmolarity of the filtrate flowing through different parts. So if you check the Bowman's capsule, you will be finding the osmolarity is 300 milliosmol per liter. If you check inside the PCT, you will find the osmolarity of the filtrate, that is also 300 milliosmol per liter. But when the same filtrate will enter into the descending limb, what will start? Reabsorption of water will take place, and gradually the osmolarity will increase from 300 to 500, 700, 800, 900, 1000, and into this U-turn, U-loop, it will become hypertonic. So the liquid or filtrate you are gonna get inside this descending arm, that is hypertonic in nature. But after this U-turn, it will start releasing salt. It will start releasing salt, reabsorption of sodium and chloride will be there, and gradually the osmolarity will fall drastically. From 1000 it will become 900, 800, 700, 600, and at last it will become hypotonic in nature. Okay, so gradually it's losing the tonicity, while it's flowing into the ascending arm. So that's why ascending arm is called as hypotonic. The filtrate present inside, that will gain hypotonicity. Inside the descending arm, the filtrate will gain hypertonicity, and inside this DCT, due to the conditional reabsorption of salt and water, it will become less concentrated. So the concentration will fall even below 300 or 250. That again, that is called as hypotonic filtrate, and as soon as that will enter into the collecting duct, reabsorption of water will start through the wall of collecting duct, and gradually the urine will start becoming or gaining hypertonicity. The urine will gain hypertonicity, and when you are passing out that urine, that is almost 4 times more concentrated in compared to our body fluid. So that was asked into the previous, into this particular question. If it's similar to your body fluid, that is 300 milliosmol per liter, and that is called as isotonic fluid. If the concentration is going above that, then that is called hypertonic. If the concentration is falling below 300, that is called as hypotonic, right? So in Bowman's capsule and PCT is 300, so it's isotonic in nature. In descending up is going above that up to 1200, so it's hypertonic. In ascending arm it's going below that, so it's becoming hypertonic again. Into DCT even it's hypertonic, but again into collecting duct it's losing water and gaining the hypertonicity again and again. Now coming to this particular question, Yogi, Mr. Yogi, for the previous explanation, was it okay for you? I'm asking to Mr. Yogi, was it okay for you? Okay, you understood it. Great. Next question. So a graph is displayed here. So the graph shows the effect of liver and kidneys in dogs on the amount of urea in the blood. So on the graph, 2 marks, that is O and X, shows the time when the 2 organs were removed. Which mark shows the removal of which organ? Okay, it's not, if it's not dog, for similar in case of human being also. Suppose as a scientist you are doing some experiment and you have to check the amount of urea into your blood. Okay, once you have removed the kidney and you have removed the liver, now which point of this curve, that is O or X, is telling us about removal of liver and removal of kidney from our body? By observing this nature of this curve, you have to tell me. Here I am sharing the poll here. It's a little bit tough question. Let's see who can answer. Kartika is saying option 2. Ananya is saying option B. O stands for removal of kidney and X stand for removal of liver. Okay, I'm waiting for other answer as well. Yes, Kartika, you are back. Charlene is also saying as option B. Yogi is saying option A. Rishikesh is saying option B. Okay. See, in two different way this graph can be explained. Even if you search in the internet, you will be finding different answers. Okay. But if you check this axis, y axis is saying us the concentration of nitrogen as blood urea in milligram, and x axis is telling us about the time. Okay. So we know that liver, what is the function of liver? Liver is one of the excretory organ, important excretory organ in our body. The function of liver is to convert ammonia into urea, and a cycle is running inside our livers that is called as urea cycle or ornithine cycle. I think you all know this. And the ornithine cycle inside the liver cells, they are responsible for converting this ammonia into urea. Now suppose at the point of O, see, the curve is rising here. The curve is gradually rising, and at the point of X, the curve became linear. So when you have removed kidney from your body, so gradually what happened? When you have removed kidney is responsible for elimination of urea in the form of urine, right? So when kidneys are removed, you are unable to excrete urea, so your urea will get deposited into your blood. Urea will get deposited into your blood when you have removed your kidney. So gradually the urea concentration will keep on rising. So that's why point O is telling us about removal of kidney, and X is telling us about removal of liver. Okay, now when you have removed liver, what will happen? Ammonia will get accumulated into your body, but as because liver is not present, that won't get converted into enough amount of urea. So that's why the concentration of urea is somehow taken a linear curve. So O is telling us about removal of kidney, X is telling us about removal of urea. So option B is the right answer, and 75% of you have given it right. Tier 1 pages Ananya and Charlene. I think I've explained the question. If after that also, if you have any doubt, you can ask me. Okay, Ananya and Jhansi Sinde, they are saying right. Okay, great. Then I'm moving forward to the next question. Which of the following is responsible for excretion of dilute urine? More secretion of renin, less secretion of vasopressin, more secretion of aldosterone, less secretion of atrial natriuretic factor. Yes, Eliza, good evening. Okay, Sujata is saying option C, more secretion of aldosterone. Okay, remember the function of aldosterone, conditional reabsorption of water and salt from the from the distal convoluted tubule of nephron. Shalini is saying option B, Ananya is saying option B. So the question is asking responsible for excretion of diluted urine, diuresis. So if there is more secretion of renin, then the GFR will increase, blood pressure will increase, and efficiently we will excrete out hypertonic urine. That's not the answer. If there is less secretion of vasopressin, there will be no reabsorption of water through the uh, collecting duct of nephrons, and that will cause diuresis. So option 2 is our answer. If there is more secretion of aldosterone, you will produce more hypertonic urine, or diluted urine will not be produced. Less secretion of ANF. ANF is responsible for production of diluted urine. But if there is less secretion, obviously you will produce concentrated urine. So that's why option will be option 2 or option B, and 67% of you have given right answer is Charlene and Ananya. Okay, going forward to another question, and the statement 1 is saying, okay, it's about muscle. Fascia is a loose connective tissue which attaches the fascicles. Statement 2 is saying each organized skeletal muscle in our body is made of a number of muscle bundles or fascicles. I'm sharing the poll. Be quick. Read the question carefully and answer it. Chances are there for silly mistake. So 1, it should be written, you should read this as A, 2 is B and C, and 4 is as D. Okay. So Kartika is saying option D, Ananya D, Sujata here on pages given option B, Charlene option B, Rushikesh option D, Jogita also saying option D. Okay. So the answer is here, fascia is not a loose connective tissue. Fascia is not a loose connective tissue but dense connective tissue. Dense, irregular connective tissue. So that's why statement 1 will be false. Each organized skeletal muscles in our body, they are made up of number of muscle bundles or fascicles. That is true. So statement 1 is false, statement 2 is true. Statement 2 is true and 1 is false. So option D, we got our right answer, and 60% of you have given it right. Kartikeya, Ananya, Jogita. Okay. Next question, another assertion and reason type, and let's check the assertion. Is telling us that tunica media is thicker in arteries than in veins, and the reason is saying arteries need to withstand higher blood pressure. Now another easy question. I think I will get a fast answer for this question, for this particular one. Be fast answering this. It's about the layers of arteries and veins. We know the layers are tunica externa, tunica media and tunica intima. And they have differences in the venous wall and arterial wall. Okay. So tunica is media is thicker and arteries in than in veins. That is true. Because why it's thicker in arteries? Tunica media, there is a muscular layer made up of smooth muscles. Arteries need to withstand high blood pressure. That's also true, and absolutely the reason is explaining assertion. So both assertion and reason are true, and the reason, okay, both assertion and reason are true, and reason is the correct explanation of assertion. C, 100% of you have given right answer. Next question. Okay, X is a muscle associated with eye which helps you to rotate your eyeball, which is not character of that muscle X. Is it striated, involuntary, cylindrical or unbranched? Yogi is saying option C. Rushikesh is saying option C. A muscle associated with your eye and helping you to rotate your eyeballs. So What do you think? It's a voluntary activity or involuntary activity? And if it's voluntary, that's associated with skeletal muscle, right? So you have to find out the character which is not the character of that muscle is. So skeletal muscle means that is striated, skeletal muscle means that is cylindrical, skeletal muscle means that's unbranched. So the answer will be it's involuntary. The eyeball muscle, which is responsible for rotating your eyeball, it's a voluntary phenomena. It's a skeletal muscle. That's not about the muscles present inside your eye. The muscles which are present inside your eyes, they are involuntary, they are smooth muscles. So option B is the right one, and none of you have marked it correct. You got my point, got this question, because no one of you have given right answer. So option A is not correct. Even option C is also not correct. You have to find out which is not the character of muscle X. So muscle X is a skeletal muscle. Muscle X is a kind of skeletal muscle which is responsible for rotation of your eyeball. Yeah. Moving forward to the next question, assertion and reason. Assertion is telling us Hydra can use its tentacles for capturing its prey and also use them for locomotion. The reason is saying the two may be linked by stating that all locomotions are movement, but all movements are not locomotions. Sharing the poll, be quick while you are answering this question. What about this particular question? Ananya, Kartika, Rishikesh, Charlene. Okay, Charlene is saying option A. Both assertion and reason are true and reason satisfies A. I'm waiting for answer from others as well. Yogi is saying option B. Charlene, already Charlene, Rishikesh answering as option A. Yogi, Ananya, they have answered option B. Okay. So Hydra can use its tentacle, that's obviously true, for capturing prey and also use them for locomotion. That's perfect. Reason the two may be linked by stating that all locomotions are movement, but all movements are not locomotion. So Hydra can use, that's also true. Hydra can use its tentacles for capturing its prey and also use them for locomotion because all locomotions are movement, all movements are not locomotion. So yes, though they are syncing with each other, but reason is true, but not correct explanation why and how Hydra can use its tentacle for capturing prey as well as for locomotion. That's not explained by the reason. So the answer will be both the assertion and reason are true, but reason does not satisfy A. So 50% of you have given right answer and they are Yogi and Ananya. Hello, Gopinath. Yes, surely. I am praying to the Almighty and to give you power to withstand the tension and the phases or the obstacles, because NEET exam is one of the toughest and biggest exam in your life. But I think by God's grace everything will fine. And obviously I wish my good wishes, lucks will be there. I'm wishing you best of luck or good wishes and from my core, at the bottom of the heart, I pray to the Almighty to give you that power so that you can absolutely crack it with absolute good rank and secure the passage to government medical college. Mr. Gopinath. Next unit will be, I'll be bringing questions from biomolecules. Anjali, live nahi hu. Then you are from future or you are from past. Welcome, Mr. Gopinath. So moving forward to the next question, question number 35. Assertion is telling us locomotion requires a perfect coordinated activity of muscular, skeletal and neural system, and the reason is saying skeletal muscles are excited upon threshold stimuli from neural system and transmit the force to generate through skeletal system and joints. So here you get the poll, you have time to answer. Yes, Mr. Peter Parker. Okay, so not Peter Parker, it's Peter Pratim Vlogs. I was reading it as Peter Parker. Spider-Man, Spider-Man. I thought the next thing you'll be doing, you'll be releasing some of the cowboy spider webs. From Rasta, tear on pages. So tear on pages, why you have kept this name as tear on pages? इतना दुखी काहे हो भाई? कौन इतना दिल दुखा दिया तुम्हारा? Kartikeya, Rishikesh, Ananya, Yogi, all are giving answer as option A. It's Peter Conver. Great. I was joking. Mr. Peter Conver. Someone started singing Spider-Man, Spider-Man. Biology ने चुराया मेरा दिल का चैन. Biology ने चुराया दिल का चैन. Great. So locomotion requires a perfect coordinated activity of skeletal, muscular and neural system. That's true fact. Skeletal muscles are excited upon threshold stimuli coming from neural system. Neural system will be activating the skeletal muscles, and the force generated by muscles will be transmitted into the skeletal system and joints. So this is also true. So both assertion and reason, they are correct, and reason is satisfying or explaining assertion. So all of you have given right answer, including Kartika, Rishikesh and Yogi. Quickly moving forward to another assertion and reason. Okay, so assertion is telling us osteoporosis. Osteoporosis is characterized by decreased bone mass and increased chances of fractures, and the reason is saying common cause of osteoporosis is increased levels of estrogen. Here you got the poll. Be quick, be fast while you're answering. TNU Chaudhary. Chaudhary Saab has given the answer as option C. Kartikeya Singh ji has answered option C. Charlene Devinathan is saying answer as option C. Yogi, Ananya, Dr. Yogesh VS. Already you are Dr. Yogesh, in which medical college you are studying right now. Rishikesh. Okay. So osteoporosis characterized by decreased bone mass, that's true, and reason that's false. Why? Because it's not due to the increased level of estrogen, due to the decreased level of estrogen. So assertion is correct, but reason is not correct. Option C. I think all of you have given right answer. Yes, 100% of you are right. Moving forward to the question number 37. Which one of the following is correct match for disease and its symptoms? Arthritis, inflammation of joints, tetany, high CO2 level causing rapid spasm, myasthenia gravis, genetic disorder resulting in weakening and paralysis of skeletal muscle, muscular dystrophy, autoimmune disorder. Okay. Be quick and fast answering this question. Tear on pages saying, sometime I am writing shairi, sad shairi for my best friend. Bittu left me, oh my god, but I don't know why. Nice became army boy. I am happy. Niece became army boy. I am happy, but sometime I feel a lot of pain. Why so much pain in everybody's life? Try to learn the art of living happiness. Tetany में low होता है. Yes, tetany, it should be low calcium level causing rapid spasm. Okay, Mr. Balaji, you are from PW Tamil Nadu, but watching in PW NEET English. Great, welcome, bro. Yes, tear on pages. I know you are a shair. You are writing shairis, sad shairis. Many people left you, broken your heart, but still you are fighting. You are a fighter. You are a writer. You are a fighter. So option B, yes. Correct match. Option B, no. Option B is not a correct match. Myasthenia gravis, that's also not a correct match. Myasthenia gravis, there is a autoimmune disorder. Muscular dystrophy, that's a genetic disorder. So all are wrong option except this arthritis ending with itis, and its inflamed joint means inflammation in joints. Option A. And okay, 100%. Let me check how many of you have given right answer. Jogi, Kartikeya, Santosh, Charlene, Rishikesh, and Ananya. Let's jump to the next question. Yes. Yes, Mr. Balaji. Why? Like, I know him. He's in our team as well. He has joined PW NEET English team. Like, he's teaching in both the segments. He's teaching in chemistry in PW Tamil Nadu and with us as well. He's an awesome guy. So, glenoid cavity articulates. Scapula with acromion, clavicle with scapula, humerus with scapula, clavicle with acromion. So this is scapula, this is clavicle, the beauty bone, and here you will be finding a cavity which is responsible for articulating the head of which bone? Humerus. So it should be option C. Yes, articulating humerus with scapula, glenoid cavity. So this cavity where you will be finding this head of humerus is getting articulated, this junction, this cavity, that concave plane formed here upon the scapula bone, that is called the glenoid cavity. Moving forward to the next question. Yes, every one of you have given right answer, including Ananya, Rishikesh, Peter, Charlene. Great. So multipolar neurons have one axon, two or more dendrites, and are found in retina, cochlea, cerebral cortex, embryonic state. I am sharing the poll. Multipolar neurons. Yeah, the previous one, for previous question, I was not sharing the poll, but here you got the poll for this one. Shalini is saying option C, Rushikesh, TNU, Tanu, Chaudhuri, Balaji, Shantosh, Ananya, Payal, Yogi. So multiple neurons will be finding into cerebral cortex. Retina, cochlea, they have bipolar neurons. Embryonic stages will be finding unipolar neurons, right? And multipolar neurons, they're quite abundant in cerebral cortex. So option C is our right answer, and 88% of you have given answered it correctly. Charlene, Tanu Chaudhary, Rishikesh, Kartikeya, Balaji, Ananya, Shantosha, and Payal. Very good. Now, the Na plus K plus pumps of axonal membrane operates during 4 situations already exhibited into this question. Now we have to find out the correct one. No, Peter, you just have to write down the correct answer into the chat box. The poll is syncing with the chat box directly. So from the chat box only, this poll is fetching the answer. Don't worry about that. So Balaji is saying option B. Be quick while you are answering. Sodium potassium pumps of axonal membrane operate during repolarization. No. Operate during depolarization. No. 2Na3K. That's also wrong. Operate during resting state and pumps 2K, 2 potassium outwards and 3 sodium inwards. Operate during resting state and pumps 3 potassium outward and 2 potassium inward. So this is wrong. So option 4 or option D will be our right answer, and 20% of you marked it right, and that is Tanu Chaudhary. So sodium potassium pumps mainly as per the NCERT, you will be finding they are working during the time of resting phase or polarized state, where they are operating in such manner. They are pumping 3 sodium ions outwards and 2 potassium inwards against the concentration gradient. Remember Nokia. Remember this terminology when we are discussing this Na plus K plus pump. Why it's called as a Nokia? N for sodium and O for out. It's kicking out sodium against the concentration gradient. K for potassium, I for in. It's bringing in potassium against the concentration gradient. And A for by hydrolyzing ATP. So this is a kind of active transportation. So that's why option D is the right choice for this particular question. Yes. Next question. Yes. Yes, it's Nokia, Balaji. In order to, it's a trick to remember the function mechanism of action of sodium potassium ATPase pump. Okay. So which of the following neurotransmitters generate an excitatory potential at neuromuscular junction? Which of the following neurotransmitter generates an excitatory potential at neuromuscular junction? Tanu Chaudhary is saying option B. Shalin is saying option B. Yes, should be acetylcholine. Yes, all have given right answer. Acetylcholine is acting as excitatory potential, but you can twist this question in this manner. Which of the following neurotransmitter generates and inhibitory potential at your neuron and cardiac muscle junction? Right? When there will be junction between a neuron and cardiac muscle, in that particular time, the same acetylcholine will generate inhibitory. Instead of generating excitatory potential, it will generate inhibitory potential at cardiac muscle. Okay, you need to remember this. Moving forward to the next question. Again, another assertion and reason, and the assertion is saying melatonin influences the menstrual cycle, pigmentation and defense capability. Reason, it plays an important role in the regulation of diurnal rhythm of our body. Now, another easy question to answer. No, dopamine will not be the answer. It's acetylcholine which can decrease your heart rate. Dopamine is kind of feel good hormone, also that can act as a neurotransmitter. Okay. So, melatonin influence the menstrual cycle, pigmentation and defense capability. That's true. It plays an important role in the regulation of diurnal rhythm of our body. That's also very true. That's also very true. But the reason is not justifying assertion. How and why this melatonin will be influencing menstrual cycle, pigmentation and defense capability, that is not elaborated into this reason segment. So, both assertion and reason are true, but reason is not correct explanation. That will be the answer. And 28% of you have given right answer. It's Payal Chaudhary and Rishikesh. Yes, B. Exactly. Which Peter also given the right answer. Great. Yes, Balaji, melatonin can influence the menstrual cycle. How melatonin will be influencing the menstrual cycle? In two ways. Melatonin can influence the menstrual cycle. Melatonin can decrease the basal metabolic rate of our body. First thing. Secondly, is very much crucial. Melatonin has anti-gonadotropin effect. Melatonin can inhibit the function of the gonadotropin hormones. That's why it can affect or it can delay menstrual cycle. Which of the following shows abnormality in skin, stunted growth and deaf mutism? Exophthalmic goiter, hypothyroidism and myxedema, hypothyroidism and cretinism, hyperthyroidism and cretinism. Okay, Balaji, I think you got it. Now answer this particular question. Which of the following shows abnormality in skin, stunted growth and deaf mutism? Obviously, when there is less secretion of thyroid hormones, CNS development, central nervous system development will be problematic, and that will happen in case of hypothyroidism and cretinism, that dwarf child, right? So, this is called a thyroid dwarfism. So, option C is the right answer, and 66% of you have given right, marked it right. Santosha, Charlene, Balaji and TNU Chaudhary. Great. No, D will not be the answer, Rishikesh. Hyperthyroidism cannot cause cretinism. So the statement itself is justifying cretinism, the disorder called cretinism or thyroid dwarfism. Next question. Assertion is saying oxytocin causes milk ejection from mammary gland? Reason is telling us it acts only on the mammary gland and stimulates the formation of sac-like structure which store milk. Here you get the poll to answer. Okay, Rushikesh, no problem. Shalin, Balaji, Rishikesh, Yogi, Tiaran Pages, Ananya. Okay, all of them are giving answer gradually. So, oxytocin obviously will be causing milk ejection. That's right. Assertion is true, but reason is false. Because oxytocin will not be, oxytocin is not responsible for formation of those alveolar structure in mammary glands, right? So, that's why reason is false, assertion is true and reason is false. Option A is right answer and 87% of you are right, correct. They are Tanu Chaudhary, Rishikesh, Santosha, Balaji, Shalin, Yogi and Jogita. Very good. So, that reason, the formation of sac-like structure, that is under control of which hormone? Can you please write down into the comment section, the chat box? Formation of mammary alveoli under influence of which hormone? And it's given in NCERT. Can you tell me the answer by writing into the chat box? Oxytocin is only responsible for squeezing the mammary alveolus because that can influence the contraction of smooth muscle. Prolactin. Prolactin. Rishikesh is saying prolactin. All are saying prolactin. Ah, yes. I was waiting for the answer. That is given by Tanu Chaudhary or TNU Chaudhary. Yes. Formation of sac-like structure that is mainly under control of progesterone hormone and it's written in NCERT. Yes, prolactin can help it when it's getting matured. Prolactin can help it in secretion of milk, but formation of mammary alveoli is under control of progesterone hormone. You need to remember this. यूं ही खफा है किसी से ना जाने क्यों दफा है हर दिल से बेशक याद तो उन्हें भी आती होगी हमारी यूं ही नहीं हिचकियाँ आती यूं ही नहीं हिचकियाँ आती है मुझे. वाह वाह वाह, क्या शायरी. इरशाद इरशाद, tear on pages. Great. Yes, Rishikesh, synthesis of milk that is taken care by prolactin, right? PRL, or you can call it LTH as well, luteotropic hormone, and the mammary alveoli formation, that is upon progesterone. Moving forward to the next question. Statement 1. Testosterone is secreted by Leydig cells of the testes. Yaar, tear on pages. Why you are like feeling so much sad? क्यों इतना दुखी आत्मा बन के बैठे हुए हो? Don't be sad यार. Be happy, chill, study. You have a future, right? You have an aim to crack. You have a life to live. So forget all these things happened in your past. All those person who has broken your heart, made you alone. So be a lone wolf, be a lone warrior, Sigma guy, and rise up. So testosterone is secreted by Leydig cells and progesterone is secreted by the corpus luteum. Easy question. Statement 2, statement 1, testosterone is secreted by Leydig cell, that's true. Statement 2, progesterone is secreted by corpus luteum, that is also true. And everyone of saying answer should be option C. Both statement 1 and 2 are correct. Yeah, obviously. Okay, not sad, but बस अपना कलाकारी दिखा रहे थे. Here on pages is showing the talent into the chat box, talent of shairi. %100% of you have given right answer. Great. Next question. Statement 1 is telling us the zona fasciculata, the innermost layer of the adrenal cortex. Okay. Statement 2, cortisol is involved in maintaining the cardiovascular system. Here you get the question. You have 45 seconds to answer. Here on pages is again saying yes. Rishikesh, you are saying that also secrete androgen by Leydig cells. Yes, Leydig cells are mainly responsible for secretion of androgens. See, androgens are a group of hormone that is mainly the prime androgen, that is testosterone. So testosterone is also a kind of androgen. No problem, tier on pages. Keep on showing your talent. I'm encouraging you, tier on pages. You can write down your shairis here. So people will get some entertainment. So for this question, everyone is answering as option B. So zona fasciculata is the innermost layer of the adrenal cortex. That's false. The innermost layer of adrenal cortex is zona reticularis. You need to remember this. Cortisol is involved in maintaining the cardiovascular system. That's true. So statement 1 is false. Statement 1 is incorrect. Statement 2 is correct. Option B is the right answer, and let me check how many of you have given right answer. All of you have given right answer. Great. Next question. Another statement. Cancer of thyroid gland can increase the rate of synthesis and secretion of thyroid hormones to abnormal high levels. Statement 2 is saying PTH and thyrocalcitonin work synergistically. Okay. Here you are getting the poll. Be quick while answering the question. Yes. कोई बात नहीं, tear on pages. I got your reply. That you are not sad. You are expressing your what your mind, what your heart is telling to you. Okay, so I'm getting a mixed answer from against this question. So cancer of thyroid gland can increase the rate of synthesis and secretion of thyroid hormones. Exactly. So this is true statement. Statement 1 is true. Parathyroid hormone and thyrocalcitonin, they do not work synergistically. They work antagonist. They are antagonistic hormone. Their function is opposite to each other. One is hypercalcemic, another is hypocalcemic hormone. One increases calcium level in blood, another decreases calcium level in blood. So this is false. Yes. Shukriti is okay. Shukriti, leave that question because I can join PW online. You don't have to spam into the chat box. You can answer this question. Tier on pages, you are welcome. So, option A is the right answer, and 50% of you are correct. It's Charlene. Okay, so the trick was here. Parathyroid hormone and thyrocalcitonin (TCT), they are opposite, antagonist to each other. Synergistic means they will boost each other's function. Next, statement 1 is saying a synapse is formed by the membranes of presynaptic neuron and a postsynaptic neuron, which may or may not be separated by a gap called synaptic cleft. And statement 2 is saying the neural system coordinates and integrates functions as well as metabolic and homeostatic activities of all the organs. Here I am sharing the poll. You got 45 seconds to answer this. So, a synapse is formed by membranes of presynaptic and postsynaptic neuron, yes, which may or may not be, if it's chemical synapse, there will be synaptic cleft. If this electrical synapse, there will not be gap or cleft. So, this is true. Statement 2 is saying the neural system coordinates and integrates the function as well as metabolic and homeostatic activities, coordinates and integrates function as well as metabolic and homeostatic activities of all the organs. So, Sumati was saying, can I crack NEET within 20 days? It's upon you. Okay. If it's instant, then you cannot crack. But if you have a base already, if you made a base, you have prepared for last 2-3 years, then obviously 20 days is just time to revise those things. Yes, Sanskriti, I know you. No issue. If you like my teaching style, you will get my lectures and they are free into this channel, that is PW NEET English, right? All the chapters of zoology, you will find the lectures of mine in one shot manner. Okay. So, the answer is option A. Both the statements are correct. Yes. And all of you have given the correct answer. Moving forward to the next question. No, it's quite like scientific, Sumati. You just try to understand that if you don't have the basic knowledge, if your 11th and 12th the chapters are weaker, then how is possible to crack NEET in 20 days? This is not a cup of tea, right? You need to first learn the NCERT chapters, then you need to practice questions, and then you need to figure out your pain points. So, stepwise manner, it's a step-by-step methodology. So, it's not a car within a day you have filled the tank, full tank, and at a one run you can drive for 200 kilometers. So, it's not like that. It's a step-by-step manner. So, if you don't have any previous basic knowledge, then it's not possible to crack NEET within 20 days. For that, you need to invest your time, invest your knowledge, invest your patience. Okay. So, for this question, I am sharing the assertion and reason. The medulla of the brain is connected to the spinal cord. Okay. The medulla contains center which controls respiration, cardiovascular reflex and gastric secretion. So you know something but not clear, then you take more time, you take one more year. I'll suggest, Sumati, if you know something, then instead of getting panicking, instead of panicking, take your time, take one more year, invest your time, invest your knowledge, invest your preparation, invest your patience, and obviously after that, for sure shot, you will get your result. Peter, what should be the minimum mark that one should score to qualify for this coming year? I think depending upon the category, but still minimum 560 above. Minimum 560 above. What can I do for the structural organization animals, frog and cockroach? Again, I am saying those are easy chapter. See, structural organization, they are concept based chapter and easier one. So, if you have time, you can check my lectures. You just have to check the playlist section of this channel, PW NEET English. You will be finding 3 separate lectures. One is for animal tissue, one is for frog, one is for cockroach. I've explained all those concepts and information in interesting manner. So you can check those lectures. I think if you study, if you go through those lectures only, your preparation will be almost 80% over, and after that you have to practice some 200 to 300 questions from that particular chapter. Got it, Sanskriti? 650 plus, yes, if you are scoring 650 plus, then somehow you can expect seats in AIMS, right? Newer AIMS like AIMS Reverie. But if you want to secure a seat in top AIMS, then you have to score minimum 700. Okay, for OBC, NCL, PWD, 520 to 530 minimum you need to score. Molecular. Okay, so you can check our lectures for that particular topic or for that particular chapter. On Sunday's exam of that chapter, please tell me for only frog and cockroach. Yes, Sanskriti, what I am telling you, just check the playlist section of this channel. You will be finding one separate video of frog and one separate video for cockroach. And in 1.5x speed, if you watch those 2 lectures, it's more than enough to score 90% plus for your exam in Sunday. Jipmar. Okay, for Jipmar, a dedicated video is there in the like I have made already a video into the video section of this channel. You can check. Almost is going to be completed within few minutes. Yogi. Yes, there are lectures by me. Okay, and you can find from the beginning day, from the very first day I told that if you want my lectures, you have to check the playlist section of PW NEET English channel, and you'll be finding all the chapters of zoology in one shot manner, one shot lectures of all the chapters along with some quick question practice. Tomorrow I don't have lecture. Again, I have lecture on 13th. So, what about the answer of this question? The medulla of brain connected to the spinal cord, that is true. And the medulla contains centers with control of respiration, cardiovascular reflex and gastric secretion, that's also true, but reason is not explaining assertion. So both assertion and reason are true, but R is not the correct explanation. Option D. Let me check how many of you were correct. 60%, and there Shantosha, Rushikesh and Ananya. Very great, very good. Now this is the last question for today's class, and the question is another assertion and reason. At resting potential, the exoplasm inside the axon contains a high concentration of K plus and negatively charged proteins. Okay, At resting potential, the axon membrane is relatively impermeable to sodium ions and negatively charged proteins. So, try to answer this question correctly. So, Shalini is saying option D. Both assertion and reason are true, but reason is not correct explanation. Oh, so assertion is obviously true and reason is also true. But is reason justifying assertion? Yes. They are asking about the uh, resting potential. And what do you understand by this word resting potential? Minus 70 millivolt into the membrane of axon. Now, why it is maintained? Yes, as because the membrane of axon is relatively impermeable to sodium ion and permeable to potassium ion, and the negatively charged proteins, that's also included into this factor. Together, combined effect of these two phenomena helping the axon membrane to maintain a negative potential inside. So, reason is the correct explanation of assertion. So, for this, option C is the right answer. And 20% of you have given answered it correctly, and it's Tanu Chaudhary. So we are done for today's session. Here I'll be checking the leaderboard. So it's Charlene. Great. You are very prompt. For most of the questions, Charlene. Again, thank you from the bottom of my heart for attending these sessions. For each and everyone, Charlene, Ananya, Rishikesh, Yogi, Shantosha, Basabraju, Sujatha, Tanu Chaudhary, Jogita, Tiaron Pages. Thank you, Tiaron Pages, for your shairis. Okay. Kartikeya, Surya, Chitra, Maxwell, Balaji, Payal Chaudhary, Power Players, Jhansi Shinde, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Measure Smith, Peter, Dr. Yogesh, Dr. Krishna, Afifa, Ayush Mahur, Halku Bhaiya, wow, and Lilesh Chandel. Okay, so all of you are doing really great in your life, and wish you best, wish you luck, wish you hard work, wish you honesty in your life, in your upcoming examination. And thank you, bye bye, good night, and Jai Hind. Okay, so Anana watching from Kanyakumari, Tamil Nadu. Okay, Ananya, I wish someday I will visit uh, as a tourist to your place, that is Kanyakumari. Okay, welcome, Lokesh. Okay, we're also watching today's session, Lokesh. Thank you very much. Chitra, welcome again from the core of my heart. Tanu Chaudhary, very good night. Tear on pages. अरे भाई नाम तो बता के जाओ. Tear on pages. Yes, Peter, very good night. And everyone, please be safe because it's only 20 days remaining for upcoming NEET 2026 examination. Take care of your health. Drink plenty of water. Summer is also approached. So it's summertime. So dehydration issue will be there. So drink lot of water, and saline water need to take. Yes, obviously, why not? Sanskriti. You can follow my notes. You can uh, collect those notes from PW app. You have to install PW app and search for Bishwajit sir's free zoology batches, and from there only you'll be getting notes, handwritten notes and DPP. Okay, Yogi, you are from Andhra. Very great. Very good. Andhra. So, Mr. Yogi, Chappandi sir. Okay, no issue, Sanskriti. I'm telling now. You can download the handwritten notes of mine and you can watch those videos. It will be more than sufficient. Tier 1 pages, welcome. Good night, brother. Okay, you are Dev Rishi. I got it. Next class time. Again, tomorrow at the same time, our team will be there with another lecture of an endgame series. Most probably it will be physics or chemistry. Okay, bye-bye.